Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Blackout Friday to 2025 of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving of 2025, I meant to say. Oh my goodness. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I don't know about you, but I just thank God for every year that He allowed me to live to commemorate the years of Thanksgiving and being thankful and having a grateful heart of all the beautiful things that God has given us throughout the year because the year is about to almost come to a close. So Thanksgiving is the one time, at least for one time, your children, if you have had children, and your children should come home and sit at the dinner table with their mother and their fathers if your moms and your dads are still around. Of course, your mother should be the matriarch of the family, and the family, everybody's supposed to sit at home and have dinner with their families. Fridays are my Thanksgiving. Black Friday, because my Thanksgiving guests will be coming here today. I will not have guests at my house on Thanksgiving Day because I didn't go out to eat or go anywhere to anybody's house. That's optional for me to attend any family house for the Thanksgiving. But I was sitting here cooking at my own home, preparing for my meal for my guests for today. So I didn't go to anybody's house. So if my husband wanted to go and visit with his friends, his family, he was welcome to do that without me this Thanksgiving because I stayed home to cook because my sister, her husband, and her stepdaughter, all of them are supposed to be coming over here today. So I was not going to nobody else's house and not take care of what I need to take care of in my house first. So I did do my basics already. I did my pies. I did this pie that I'm showing you in this screenshot. This is my very first time ever making pie crust. So it might look a little weird, but this is an old cake pan of my mother's. You understand? This is one of my mother's old cake pans. So I had to use this pan to bake my pies in. Traditionally, during like the holidays, a lot of people don't talk about it with the share this information with their children so that they will understand these things about Thanksgiving. We're not talking about pilgrims and Indians, and I think I put that on a post on my community wall some time back that is not about the pilgrims in the Indian story. That had to be the story in the American history books in school because we're talking about teaching people from all different backgrounds and ethnicity, culture, and everything when we are teaching from a public school level of teaching things in the school system, the way we teach things, because people are different from other places of the world. So to not offend people, we have a story of America giving birth to America and coming to America and what America was built on for the new world that people came that they discovered long before everything else started happening here in America. There was the Indians, the pilgrims, and people from all different parts of Europe, people that came from places of the third world, and people that came from wherever else of the world they came from. But that story is just a new world, a new place in the world where people discovered this world that we built the foundation here on the principles of biblical standards of America. Now, everybody had a different experience here in America. Not everybody had the same experience. When we talk about American history, we're going to talk about the blacks who were here and they were slaves. Okay, some of them were stolen and brought here to work in slave and live on property and everything and serve, um, be a servant to under cruel treatment and so on and so on through those history books. It was cruelty. So every timeline took a different period in America, as America is one of the new places in the world than other places in the world, like third world nations that are ancient and that are old and traditional, and they old and they traditions and everything else like that. But America is a new world for a lot of people that coming from the old world that they lived in their own foreign land, their own countries, and they coming from a new place for freedom and liberty to practice their traditions or culture, whatever it is. The story of America, but it's not about the Pilgrims and the Indians. Trust me, it just had to be taught at that level in the history school books, so it won't be too offensive to a lot of other people from other places of the world. We had to, water it down a lot about our American history. You can't put everything there that happened so raw. You just can't be that when you got to talk to the audience of our young and impressionable people, of young minds that are developing. As time progress, it will grow more and more. They'll get to understand. But uh, the Bible teaches that we have to teach at a level of certain things at a certain time. There's just certain things we can't teach, and I'm learning that as well as me being an educator myself in that field, my teaching strategies and how I could relate to children. Like when they talk about religion, they really not looking at it in the way that I look at it because I'm not a religious person. I'm just a person who has a relationship with the God and Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm not a religious person because I really don't try to force anything on anybody. I just try to teach you as I go along, and share with you as I go along as well. So it's not about religion for me. Another thing I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving is that I'm thankful that God has added more to my life. Another year is approaching. And if I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I'm praying I will. You never know when your last day on this earth is going to be. You don't know what's going to happen in any given moment. So we got to be thankful for what we do have for in front of us today. We got to be thankful. And sometimes, even if you're going through a rough time and a difficult time in your life right now, trouble don't last always. That's not forever. That's only temporary. That's what I had to tell one of my family members yesterday, who's now in a situation because they put themselves in that situation and they want somebody to come and pull them out, and they don't want to admit that they have a mental illness. And it's very difficult for people to want to invite you in their home or to help you when you have a mental illness. The worst sickness a person can ever get is when the mind isn't functioning right. That's the worst illness that can ever hit anybody, is when your mind is gone and you don't know it's gone. And you don't know you are detached from the reality of things, is when you become mentally ill. That's why you have to take care of your peace. That's why I didn't care to be around the crowd for the holiday. I didn't care to have a lot of people around my house cooking for a lot of people, or people coming to my home with chaos, drama, and foolishness. I didn't want to go to nobody else's house. We're watching the football game. They want to sit and eat and have their conversations. Let that conversation go on over there. I didn't want to sit in the company of people that want to sit there and make insults or make jokes about saying things about, one of my favorite icons, R. Kelly. I don't like that. I don't like when I sit in your company and you want to bring up R. Kelly and you want to come talk about, oh, you want to say all these things about his legal situation. You weren't there. I weren't there. We don't really know what's going on. So, that's what I'm saying to you. We don't know what's going on, but I do enjoy listening to this man's great body of work and his music, and I enjoy his his craft. I mean, I just enjoy it. And I just don't like it when I got to be insulted about it. Enjoying something I like, I don't, I just rather not be in your company. If you're going to sit around and talk about bad things about R. Kelly, politics, when you talk about President Trump, and you know how we skin folks are. when we get into our place of privacy and we want to talk about politics and how we want to say to call the names and say all this, that, and the other. But then again, I don't have a problem with it because of the simple fact none of this stuff that happened during since Trump been in the administration has really truly affected me. Honestly, honestly, it has not affected me in no kinds of way. So I don't even stress myself about it. Now, if there's anything I want to voice my opinion about, as far as what's going on with this government right now, I'll do it here on YouTube. I do it on my social media page, my blogs, or whatever. I will talk about how I feel about how things are being done in our government today. But there's nothing much I can do about it. There's nothing I can really do but like I've done all the other years of my life. It's just ride it out. Ride it out. I'm not gonna go crazy, go into all of these rallies and functions and get out on the street and do all this protesting and da 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 da, because that noise to me is just a bunch of noise. And then I just spoke to a friend of mine. She just called me today and she's talking about all of this stuff about this election stone 2026. We're going to get Trump out of there, blah, blah, blah. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing blah, blah. I said, they all doing something wrong. I ain't got time to listen to all of that. You go ahead, do what you got to do. But I'm just going to sit my butt right here and just not going to get myself caught up in all that foolishness. Because that ain't got nothing to do with me, ain't got nothing to do with you. There's just a whole bunch of craziness going on with both parties. And it's just a whole new, things are changing. Things do get crazy. Things do get crazy when the government is turning over to a new government and a new cabinet and all that other stuff. It gets crazy because some people don't want to leave their job. Some people are fighting to stay in their job. Some people, it's just time to get out the door. It's time to retire. You done did your time. It's time to move on and get some new eyes in there and some new people in there, people that really care about this country. We really need people that care about a United States of America government. They got to care about the United States first. They got to care about this country first more than anything before they can sit in that seat of Congress. That's the way I feel of any political position. They have to love America. They got to want excellence from America. They got to want all the great things to come back to America. The job markets to start coming back to America. The jobs. I just did one on ShopRite. ShopRite has been one of my favorites so far supermarkets that I do go and shop at. I look at the prices and their prices are always reasonable. Even during the pandemic, prices in ShopRite has stayed reasonable. Prices like Pathmark and these stores that went under, like these other grocery stores and supermarkets that you don't no longer see and they no longer exist. That's because these people have got to the point where they just wanted to make a profit and they didn't care about the customers and the people, how their pockets was, struggling, how their money was struggling. In this economy, ain't nobody in no grocery store should be raising no prices of food so high without trying to bring it down to some sale prices. Now, I went Acme, and I go to this supermarket out here called Acme. They just ridiculous with the prices. And forget about this little Mexican, Chinese farmers market out here by where I'm at. They are ridiculous with prices. I went to go see a pork shoulder, to do the beneath. The penne is like a Latino dish. It's it's a Puerto Rican food, right? The Puerto Ricans do it. Dominicans might do it. Cubans might do it too, but they might call it something different. People from Latin culture, Hispanic culture, or, whatever might do it all differently the way they prepare this pork shoulder that they call benin with the hard skin. We call it crackling, or we call it, the hard skin of the skin of the, what you call it? We call it the crackling. They call it banana. It's the whole thing is that hard skin, and then you take the rest of the meat that's there and you just break it up and season it. Make sure it's seasoned real well and everything. But back to what I'm saying. I went in the supermarket. I looked at the price of it while I was inside the store. I was over at a farmer's market, Spanish, Chinese, Mexican. No, not Spanish, Mexican. Well, they speak Spanish, but Mexican, Chinese, and what else? I think Indian farmers market. Most of the foods that's there are mostly from people from that ethnicity. And I'm like, they don't really have a farmers market there that really caters to black American culture. But black American culture, we know how to just come for. We just come there for the actually for the produce, right? We come there for the produce, like maybe some greens, maybe some string beans, maybe some corn, maybe some cabbage, some, which basically the fruit, the vegetables that we do truly like side dishes that we make with our food that we cook. We don't do, some might do some bachui. I mean, bachui, my mother-in-law does bachui. So I'm not really much of a bachui person. But I eat it if I have to. If it's there, I eat it. I do eat. I don't eat Brussels sprouts. I'll eat all of that stuff. But I'm just saying, the name market is basically caters food to people of that ethnicity, of Latino, Hispanic, Mexicans, people from all these other places, they fishes and everything. But the thing is that they prices are so ridiculously high. That's the whole thing I'm saying. It's just the prices. So when I go back to ShopRite and I look at ShopRite prices, I said this is an American store because they know how to be reasonable with the prices on the food. And then not only just that, they also been around for a long time. I'm familiar with them. I remember ShopRite has the brand, can. They've been around for a long time with their logo and everything with ShopRite. So I'm not nobody that work for ShopRite, but every time I go in the store, the supermarket or whatever, and I will be looking their website up so I can give my customer reviews or whatever like that at ShopRite. That could probably help me out. But anyway, promoting a brand. But anyway, like I said, these stores, these farmers' little market stores or whatever, these foreign little grocers and all that other stuff. I'm trying to stop spending my money. We on Blackout Friday. I'm stop putting my money in these places. Sometimes we don't have no other choice because we don't have any black farmers. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have any black farmers, and there should be some black farmers that should be here in that lot over there, get a license and have a lot over there at this place over here, this farmers market over here. And I think there should be one. And I think black people need to get more into farming. And the thing is that black people are just so traumatized about this business because of the things that has happened to us over the years of back in slavery, the trauma and everything. But we're coming back. And I think that black farmers are the best farmers. They are the what? And that's the whole thing. When President Trump administration came, they basically would prefer black farmers back in the, and black people are mad talking about, oh, they just want us back in the field and pick cotton and all that. I don't really think so. You got to turn what you think is negative into something positive, and I think that would be a good field for black people to go into. A lot of black people that live out in the country, they know how to deal with the crop seasons and stuff like that. They know certain crops, like my uncles and all of them live in South Carolina all their life and everything. They know those waters, they know the earth, they know the ground, they know the nature of things and what time of the seasons it grows and all of that. See, me, a city girl, I don't know all of that stuff. I don't know how to go out there and know when the tree is going to start fruit growing on that tree and stuff. I don't know that stuff. I grew up in the city. But people that grew up in the South, you Southerners, you people that got property and land, you got acres, you buying acres and acres of land, and you got your houses and all this other stuff. Instead of buying cars, invest that money into your crops, into your farming business. Instead of buying all of these luxurious shit that you buy that don't have no value to it, things that's depreciating, why don't you get into the farming business? And I wonder why. It's not that you going back in the cotton field, but now you get to run the farm the way you going to run it. And I just been seeing some stuff online that been saying black farmers, and I said I wish I had some black farmers out here because I sure would support them. Who are we going to support? Don't spend no money. We got to spend some money, but where can I go spend my money? Black business. Where's some black businesses at that I can spend my money to buy the products that I want? That's the whole thing you got to think about. You up here talking about a blackout Friday, black people don't spend no money on the holidays and all this other stuff. I ain't got time for you, okay? You tell me where these businesses are that I can actually go and help support some of these businesses. Other than that, shut the so and so up. I don't do too much online stuff. I like to walk inside of the store to purchase my items or my products, like I'm trying to get out here now to do. But I'm just saying, stop with this Blackout Friday stuff to black people, because not every black person is participating in that BS. You tell me, where is the black businesses that's in my neighborhood? I live in Delaware. Where is the black businesses out here that I can go and support? I'm not going somewhere that's in Delaware that is not in the same county that I'm in. And I don't have a car to get there. See, you got to be, if anything, just put the name of whatever companies that have been disrespectful. Because see, Target, there's some black-owned businesses that are in Target. They said they've been being disrespectful, so they had to pull their businesses off of Target. And if you are a black business out there and you have something out there, that I do support black business. Every year I order my calendar and order my Christmas cards and my calendars from a black business. And I also do Kwanzaa, so I have to order that from I hope it's a black business. You never know who you're dealing with business. They taking black products and they selling it, but they not black. You know what I'm saying? I got to go through all that whole stuff of research, but I just pray over everything I do. I just pray over wherever I spend my money at. I just pray for whoever. But so far, I haven't had a problem with anybody being disrespectful as of yet. Now, at this season, I haven't had anybody from any other place been disrespectful to me, and any of the businesses that I have been patronizing out here where I'm at. That I haven't had a problem yet. But one African, and that was a while back, that I went in there and I asked her if I purchased something, if she could give me change for I could have bus fare for the bus, because I was taking the bus that time, and she was very rude and nasty. Now, they just have poor customer service, point blank. Period. They don't have that kind. It's not in them. They could be probably some nice people, but they just don't have that way of talking to people for customer service. Customer service comes with a certain kind of character. It comes with a certain kind of character. I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care how nicely you dress. It's your character. You have to have a certain kind of mindset and character while you talk to people, to help people, while you serve in servicing people. And they just ain't got it. They just don't got it. That's just who they are. The customer service is not in them. It's not even in some of us. Even in some of us American black women, it's not in us to serve customer service. We're not made to be those people that sit in the front line. We don't have the look. We don't have the we don't carry the maturity in our voice. We don't carry. We just saying, if it ain't got, you ain't got it, you ain't got it, and it's just the way it is. And the maturity in how we speak to people, and how you represent in that business. Some people just ain't got it. Like those three African women that held up that black woman and pulled her hair inside of that doggone hair salon. Now, this to me is something that is not new. How they try to hustle you once they get you inside of that seat. This happened to me in Harlem a long time ago, but they didn't do no stuff like that, pull no stunt like that. But they used to, first of all, the place used to be dirty, unsanitized, a whole bunch of people that, it was just over the max amount of people that's supposed to even be inside of that hair braiding salon, because they used to be like in this little hole in the wall. You go up the steps, and people getting their hair burned because you want these particular types of hairdos. Then on top of that, you got to go to the bathroom. Of course, you eating food, you drinking beverages or whatever. You got to go to the bathroom and stuff, and then that bathroom is all clogged up with all kind of poop and everything all in the toilet, and they ain't clean the toilet. The bathroom all dirty. It's more little toilet area where the bathroom is. See, these people You got to understand, they come here to America to work and send money back to their country. So they don't really care how they getting their money as long as they getting it. They don't care how they servicing you as long as they getting that money. Only thing they see is the money, but they don't care about giving you quality care and quality services. All they care because they came with that kind of mindset and the way they came from their country. But see, back then, as a young woman that I was then, I didn't understand those things. I didn't know anything about them of capital and economics and foreign trade and economics or whatever. And why some of them do come here on foreign visas for work, for jobs, because we bring them a certain amount of workers from certain places in the world to come work in these places for that kind of money, then instead of paying for an American to come do the job because they don't want to pay the kind of money that American is going to ask for to do the job. You understand what I'm saying? So they go and get some foreigners to come in and try to replace your jobs. Like they now, it's just a whole lot of stuff. But when you up there with Jesus and stuff, you ain't got to worry about nobody ever taking anything from you. When the door closed, one will open, and open doors that shut will be, you know, not open. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, once God blesses you, He send you an assignment, He opens the door for you. He only got you there temporarily. Do your assignment and get out. That's it. No job is permanent. No job is forever. So you take that into consideration. But as long as you know Jesus Christ, He will never keep you. I mean, He will never forsake you. You will never go without. And I'm a witness. I am a witness to the Lord and what the Lord can do. So what I'm saying about shopping in places for this season, for Black Friday, and black business owned businesses or whatever like that, you tell me where these black owned businesses are, and I might take a look at them. And I hope their prices are reasonable because they could get ridiculous too with the price. And as far as for hair products and everything else like that that came from China, because those Chinese and those Africans, they work together when it comes to that hair stuff. They working it out with the business with them. The Chinese own Africa, you could say. But anyway, but we Black Americans, we on it. You know, we on it. So we know when things are just shady and moving shady, and what's behind all the shadiness. Now, it sounds good that black people being disrespected in that market over there in Target or in Target and the places they say. I don't do too much shopping on Amazon anyway. I just really don't. So that shouldn't really bother me in any kind of way. But what I'm saying here is just be careful of where you spend your money and how you being treated in the businesses that you go in and spend your money. If they're not treating you with value customer, treating you as a value customer, then you need to move on and find somewhere else to shop and do your shopping at. That's what I do. I don't do too much shopping, but when I do shop around this time of the year, this season, this time of the year, I very careful about who I spend my money. I'm trying to get to Hallmark today because that's one of my favorite places of spending my money is at Hallmark. I got to look for some religious cards if they got any. Because a lot of times during Christmas time, a lot of people don't sell religious cards. What happened? What happened to the Noel and the first Noel and Emmanuel and Joy to the World and a scripture from the Bible and everything? What happened to those kind of cards? To give somebody some Christmas hope. What happened to all of that? But anyway, y'all, your girl Casey done talked enough. I just wanted to come in and share my Christmas blessings my Thanksgiving blessings with you. And also that you go on my community wall and you can read some of the things that I did post about the holidays and some of the things I did talk about of what's been taking place around this season of the year, Thanksgiving. And I tell children like this is your time to go home and sit at the table and eat dinner with your family and settle all your family problems behind closed doors. Nobody but you and your family. You can talk to your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, or whomever. Your grandparents are there, or whoever expecting you home to sit at the family dinner table for the holiday. You got all the way up until because Thanksgiving is basically opening up for Christmas. So Christmas has just started. I didn't even put the tree, we ain't dragged the tree up yet. We're gonna get that done tomorrow probably. But I'm just saying, this is the time now we start in Christmas. We start, get home to your children, get home to your family, and sit down and enjoy your season of the holiday of Christmas and Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and Christmas. I love Thanksgiving and Christmas. No matter what people are trying to say out there, because I said my Thanksgiving day, I got to finish up some more things I have to cook. I have some fish because some people are not meat eaters. And you know what? I don't want to do all of that, but hey, I just want to do it just to have it in the house anyway. So, anyway, y'all, you all have a blessed and wonderful Blackout Friday. And if God's willing, I'll talk with y'all all soon. Take care and be blessed and stay peaceful. God bless. Bye bye.